alignment. In the traditional belief in the swing, wherever you point your shoulders is where you are aligned to. If that was true, every pro on tour would hit it straight, and you would have hit it straight more in your life than not. This is not how alignment works. Our body is not linear. Our body has circular joints, many of them. These are the circular joints that we are using when we're using our arms. So your perception of pointing your shoulders in a linear direction and assuming that your arms are supposed to work along that line are incorrect. Instead, alignment is different. I always tell my students that alignment happens in hindsight, just like how you learn how to throw a ball. First you throw it, if it's too short, you throw it again and you throw it farther and you start to adapt to your target. The same is true here. If I keep hitting the same shot up a target line, it becomes very clear that that is where I am aligned to. So now let me explain alignment and the idea of your circular moving joints in your arms. When I set closed, this does not mean that I'm going to hit the ball way off to the right. It means that my arms are going to swing the club on an inside-out swing path. How much inside out? Honestly for you, barely inside out. And it's barely inside out that will make you a much better player. If you could be extremely inside out, you'd even be better. But it has nothing to do with this concept of you attaching to where your shoulders are pointed is where the ball is going to go. Because watch me here. As I set closed, this just means that my arms are going to return back to this inside-out path. This is just slightly inside out. If you think about it, throughout your life, you've maybe tried to make an inside-out swing and you look down at your divots and you see that they're over the top. Maybe your perception of how your arms work with the club and while you're swinging is a little bit off. And that's why you've maybe struggled with alignment with the traditional swing. As soon as you remove this idea that where your shoulders are pointed to is where the ball's going to go, then you'll start to realize that all this closed position does is allow you to make a slightly inside-out swing. So you're going to hit the ball up 1 o'clock and have a slight tight draw. So alignment isn't about where you're pointing your shoulders. It's more artful than that. You have a magnificent body that has many different types of joints. These joints here do not work in a linear fashion. They work in a circular way. And that's why it's a little difficult for you maybe to understand that you're only swinging slightly inside out. But once you trust it and you see the tight draws, you'll realize that your perception of alignment relative to pointing your shoulders in a direction was just flawed and antiquated.